The starting career of Michael Penix Jr. in the National Football League has been born.
Love it. Love it.
And we went over this a bit yesterday. The way he was born as an NFL player was something else. His journey in college, quite a bit. We all know. Way before he had 2 back-to-back seasons that were the stuff of legend in Washington. He had a terrific run at Indiana. Google it. And you could Google that way before people began Googling Indiana this year.
Google me.
That's right. and then he got drafted by the Atlanta Falcons, 8th overall, even though they had already signed Kirk Cousins prior to the new league year even opened up, apparently. I mean, it was just wild how Atlanta really wanted Kirk Cousins and got him, and then 7 weeks later said, you know what, we're going to use the first overall draft choice on our succession plan. And who knew the succession plan would start in Week 16 of the National Football League season, in which the Falcons were seemingly in a perfect pole position to win their division at 6-3, only to lose 4 in a row and end that win streak with a win that was so unsightly on offense that's when they decide that Kirk Cousins needed to be sat for production purposes. And now it's Kirk Cousins wearing the headset and the 24-year-old rookie making his first career start for a 7-7 team that needs wins right now in order to salvage, one would say, a season in which they had beaten Tampa Bay twice, because Kirk Cousins did have 8 touchdowns and 1 interception in those 2 wins. And then for the rest of the season, 10 touchdowns, 15 interceptions against the rest of the National Football League. Thus, Michael Penix's starting career in Atlanta has been born. And all he's got to do is do something that's never been done before: become the first rookie quarterback to make multiple starts and lead his team to the playoffs after his first start coming in Week 10 or later for a team at 500 or below. It's never, I know it's a very small subset for this statistic, but we've never seen a subset this small placed upon a rookie quarterback by a team that has otherwise playoff possibilities. There has been one instance of a rookie quarterback making his first start in Week 10 or later for a team that was at 500 or below that did eventually make the playoffs. He made only 1 start, though. And we're assuming Penix is making more since he's been named the quarterback for the rest of the season for Atlanta. That quarterback was Jeff Rutledge in 1979.
Okay.
Yeah, for the Rams. He made his first start in Week 11 for a 5-5 Rams team that eventually did make the playoffs, despite Rutledge losing that start. They went from 5-6 to the playoffs because Vince Ferragamo started the rest of the season.
Ferragamo.
Remember Vince Ferragamo? Mm-hmm. He went on quite the run. Mm-hmm. I think you see him sometimes on TV locally here in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
I remember Vince Ferragamo was so famous, he became, I don't know why I know this stuff. he was a star on Hollywood Squares.
Yes.
Once. And I'm like, wow, Vince Ferragamo made it to Hollywood Squares. You know, you'll take him for the block because Paul Linden got his, and then Wally Cox got their questions right. All right, I'm done. Rosemary, I almost went Rosemary. Anyway, long story short.
Who's the guy that had the Madam puppet?
Is that's Waylon Jennings and Madam.
Madam. Waylon Jennings and
Keep
Madam.
going. What else you need, buddy? What else you want? Come on.
Waylon Jennings and Madam.
Come on.
Yes.
George
Poland.
Gold. I'll keep going.
Charles Nelson Riley.
No, that was Match Game.
That was Match Game, yeah. He never was on Hollywood Squares?
No, you went too far.
Rayburn.
No, you went too far.
Okay, you guys.
Now you've gone too far. So, bottom line is, Penix has got quite a bit placed in his bucket now, and this is what he had to say when introduced as the starting quarterback of the Falcons yesterday.
My previous coach, we used to always preach want to know mindset, and I'm really focused on this week right now, and that's all I can focus on right now is what we got in front of us, and that's the Giants, and trying to make sure I'm prepared to be able to do whatever it takes to help us win this football game, and we'll take it one step at a time. I'm not looking too far ahead, like this is a playoff game, but as long as we execute and do what we have to do, we'll come out with a win, and the playoffs that's something that come with it, but I'm just trying to stay in the moment right now. So.
Good news. Let's get some good news here. The good news is the kid's got his head screwed on straight. The good news is he's 24. He's not like 21. The good news is he got a ton of experience in college, and we've seen some quarterbacks with the extra amount of experience. They're the ones who succeed in their first go-round as starter in the NFL more often than not. Brock Purdy is one. C.J. Stroud is another. Jaden Daniels is another. Bo Nix is another. These are good problems, if you will, to have. Also, we had Andrew Whitworth and Ryan Fitzpatrick of Prime Video in our chairs to my right just yesterday. And Andrew Whitworth and Ryan Fitzpatrick saw Kirk Cousins throw for 500 yards this year in one of those wins against the Bucs on a Thursday night. And both of them said going into that game, they were still wondering if Cousins was a shadow of his former self or growing into his former self, but he definitely wasn't his former self from Minnesota and the You Like That years. And they were talking to a bunch of people behind the scenes saying this kid Penix can spin it in practice. Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator, who Whit knows from the LA Rams days, was saying this kid can spin it, and I think he hasn't lost his ability to spin it between that week 5 and this week 16, and I think the team is feeling good and confident about the kid who's got a great head on his shoulders. And he's also got Kirk Cousins in his corner because Cousins, to no one's surprise, is the professional, saying yesterday that he understands the business end of it. He understands what's up, what time it is. I mean, his stretch from weeks 10 through 15 were as brutal as you can get. I mean, his touchdown in the win against the Raiders was his first in 17 quarters. 9 picks, 1 touchdown. It's just you can't countenance that sort of stuff if you are in the NFL needing to make the playoffs, no matter how veteran you are. That said, he did offer a little pushback on the why. It's not a loss of confidence. Hit it.
Well, the results weren't good enough, but I think that, from a confidence standpoint, I don't think that was changing. If anything, maybe you need, less confidence to not, try to force the ball into tighter windows. So I don't think it's confidence as much as just got to make great decisions. You got to make great decisions all the time, and if you don't, you pay for it. I didn't forget how to play quarterback. Certainly the turnovers were not what you want, but I didn't forget how to play.
Yeah, I mean, that's a prideful man right there. Ryan Fitzpatrick, again, who's the king of throwing into tight windows because he had confidence thinking he could throw it into a tight window. He said this move had to be made. Cousins wasn't done, though. Did you hear how he described calling Penix? He called Penix to say, hey, congrats, I'm here for you, which is nice. This is the way he described it to the media.
Not to be redundant about this part of it, but why was it important for you to call Mike last night?
I like to shoot elephants in the room, so I just wanted to shoot one.
There you go.
Wow. Okay.
Big game conversation right there.
Hey, now.
So he called Penix, and, obviously Raheem Morris called Cousins, and as if the Penix story, the way he was drafted, wasn't wild enough. The way he found out that he was the starting quarterback. Now, you've seen videos in the NFL where there's a camera in the corner and the coach is telling player who's had a long journey, A, he's made the team, or B, he's made the Pro Bowl, and those are videos that get you dusty in the room. In the NFL, that's one way to do it. In Major League Baseball, you've seen cameras planted in a manager's office to tell a minor leaguer, hey, you're going to the show, right? Unfortunately, I don't believe the Falcons had a camera planted in a local Costco yesterday for Michael Penix. Roll tape.
I was actually shopping. I was shopping with my girlfriend. We was at Costco, and I got the call, and they told me that I was going to be the starting quarterback, for the rest of the season, and as you can imagine, it was some nerves, it was excitement.
Y'all got anything special at Costco after you heard the news with double chocolate chip cookie?
Oh man, so I did. I was actually getting a hot dog. And whenever I got the call, I wasn't hungry no more. So,
I mean, honestly, you've got some players get a phone call from the team. You're drafted first overall. Another, like Tom Brady, how he was born as a starter. 1 minute you're standing on the sideline, next minute you're in the game, and then yada yada yada. You're the greatest of all time. Penix now has a story as old as time. 1 minute I'm buying a $1.50 hot dog. The next minute I'm not hungry anymore.
Makes sense.
That's his story as old as time. Well, certainly at Costco, where I learned it's been $1.50 since the 80s for a hot dog. Did not know that.
One of the best values that you can find.
And I'm sure there are people out there who can call this show and cape for the Costco hot dog.
Oh.
I imagine. You will use that right now. You don't have to call.
Jeez.
TJ?
We've all been there.
TJ? What did you text the group when the Costco hot dog subject matter came up?
I was involved in that.
No, I know. What did you text the group?
Oh, what did I text? I said.
Are you here? Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You were there.
My goodness. Do we need to wake you up over there?
I misheard what you said.
Okay.
I said that the cinnamon rolls from Costco ain't no joke. The pizza. Is what I said.
Pizza.
That was at IKEA. The IKEA cinnamon rolls, right?
Yeah, smidged throughout the.
that was smidged throughout the IKEA one?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
I can't remember.
1 minute.
I'm involved in like 12 group chats last night.
So
TJ
Michael Penix Jr. drafted by a team nobody thought would draft him, and then they make him a starter in week 16, and he finds out while he's buying a hot dog at Costco with his lady.
But not hungry. He didn't get the hot dog.
Well, now he's not hungry anymore. Well, literally, figuratively, he's very hungry for a win.
But his stomach got turned into knots.
He's like, whoa, I'm starting. Hey, now. Hey, whoa.
I would have went and bought a TV or something. Just, you know what I mean? Something to mark the occasion, Rich. Like, you got the call.
Yes.
Buy a blender.
Yes. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.